Hi guys, I hope you're all safe and well. It's Mitch here. I'm just coming on to do this week's Facebook card reveals for you all. So, if you were drawn to card number 1, we're going into the energies of the Chariot. Now, when the Chariot shows, this is a fabulous time of celebration and graduation. Usually with the Chariot, we've been working on something personal or behind the scenes, or perhaps we've been really focusing so much of our energy into something. It could be a course, a workshop, it could be deep study, university, whether that's online university or in-person university. It could just be a discipline that we've really been throwing our energy into, and perhaps we've now completed that. Maybe we've kind of got our certification of everything, and we're ready to now move forward with it. We're ready to bring it into the physical world. So there's that side of the coin. Sometimes with the graduation, with the Chariot, it's just stopping to see the celebrations of what you've created thus far, moving into and leading up until this point, and then sort of taking those magical pieces as you sort of move forward, sort of turning your hand, bringing that energy into the next sort of space and time. Also with the graduate, I can't speak. Also with the Chariot card, it comes in a lot when we're just actively needing to move forward in other areas of our life. Now, this could be personal, this could be romantic, this could be work, it could just be generally. But it's about not staying stuck, not staying limited, not staying stuck in a place that you've outgrown or is no longer serving and working for you. Comes in a lot as well when there are changes around a physical house and home. So if some of you have been wanting to sort of perhaps physically move house, or maybe sort of make some changes within a physical home, decoration, revenerate. I can't speak. I really can't speak today. My dyslexia is really tripping me up. Renovation, I was going to say. It maybe comes in a little bit there as well. But we've got these sort of big buildings, these big castles in the background. So they do often indicate leaving one building or property to explore, to harness another. So if you are thinking about moving, this could be an interesting time to really give that some serious thought, some really sort of serious feeling, and look and really feel into your heart. Where would you want to be within the world? Would you want to stay local, or would you perhaps want to move further afield? So many clients that I'm reading and working alongside at the moment are choosing to sort of leave the UK and move abroad, overseas. I've had about 6 different clients that have been on a journey at the moment trying to find property and space to sort of leave the UK, and they're all starting to now find that houses are actually becoming available, or properties are becoming available. So that's been really interesting to sort of watch their journeys. Some have taken longer than others, some have been quicker than others, but they're all moving forward because they've realised that they can get a better quality of life somewhere else. And it's not always leaving the UK. For one of my clients, they are in Australia and they're planning to come back over. So it just sort of depends where it sits. So we've got a tale of two halves. Some are leaving, some are coming, but it's interesting. So the Chariot's really moving those energies along. So if energy feels like it's stagnant or stuck, the wheels of the Chariot spin quite quickly. So, moving into something that's going to serve and work for you overall in a better space and time, whether it's physical house and home, whether it's the people, the energies of whom is living alongside you, it could be some changes there within connections, relationships, whatever. But, if there's anything that you've outgrown or doesn't serve you, the wheels of the Chariot spin quite quick to move it away so that you can keep sort of living your best life, staying true to your spiritual and authentic self. So quite an interesting card if you've been drawn to number 1. Now then, guys, as we're moving into card number 2, we're going into the energy of the 7 of Cups. Now, when the 7 of Cups shows, this is usually a card where we feel slightly overwhelmed. Emotionally, we feel in a little bit of a vulnerable place. It could well be, if you've been drawn to this card, that you just feel at the moment you're giving to so many things, to so many experiences, to so many different pieces that make up your life. And it's becoming a little bit exhausting. 7 of Cups often shows when we feel confused, when we feel drained, when we feel tired, when we feel burnt out. And quite frankly, with this card, we sometimes just feel like we can't see the wood for the trees. There's so much happening at once. There's so much pressure and expectation being placed upon us. And it's really, really important to keep your wits about you with the Seven of Cups, because sometimes when we're feeling tired or exhausted or overwhelmed, it's in those moments that sometimes when people sort of creep out of the woodwork and tend to sort of hurt us or run the risk of vulnerabilities of letting us down or whatever. And be very cautious with the snake in the card here, because the snake often indicates there could be some enemies, there could be some people with hidden agenda, there could be some people that are not as genuine as you would hope or want them to be. So listen to your sort of psychic sat nav, trust your higher intuition. Do people around you feel safe? Do they feel genuine? Or are there a few snakes in the grass? And don't let anybody take aspects of what your world is about. But Seven of Cups, definitely, it's like learning to say no to things, basically. It's knowing and trusting that you can absolutely 120% say no to the things that don't matter, that don't sort of bring merit, that don't bring quality to your world. So if you are accommodating lesser or secondary energy, you are absolutely entitled to say no to experiences, whether they involve people, circumstances, situations, career, work, family, whatever it might be. Don't put up with lower level energy. Don't put up with crap. Don't allow people to take advantage of your good nature is definitely the theme of merit here with this card. So yeah, keep a real sort of true and authentic version of what's happening, what's going on around you. Just don't let people, like I say, take advantage of your good nature, and don't allow people to sort of pull so much energy from you, you have just nothing left for yourself, because it's got to sort of, your life has to work for you firstly, then spill over to everybody else. If people are leeching off of you, change needs to happen. And it's not if it should happen, it needs to happen. So do remember that with this card as well. And finally, as we're moving into card number 3, we're going into the energies of the Emperor. Now, the Emperor is quite an interesting one when it shows, because it's the father figure of the tarot. Also, we are actually at the moment in the sort of zodiac sign of Aries. We're heavily into the Aries at the moment. And what's quite interesting here with the Emperor card is it is the tarot card representation for the star sign of Aries. So the Emperor is all about being a natural born leader, taking ownership, taking leadership in terms of what you have to do, how you would like your world to be. So the Emperor tends to live by their own set of rules. They're not needing or seeking approval from anybody else. They're living life on their own terms, on their own forecast, and they're really trying to create the best lifestyle for themselves. So everything that they do, there is a reason, there is a higher understanding of why this is happening. But sometimes, you know, there may be people around you that don't support or understand your ideas or your decisions, but essentially do things your way, because the Emperor isn't wanting to hurt or harm anybody, but they will put themselves first. And if that means that somebody gets their nose pushed out of joint or a bit disconnected because maybe they were slightly shocked that they've kind of put themselves in that position of making sure their world works firstly, you know, sometimes the Emperor can trigger people. It can almost, we sometimes get this secondary energy that kind of kicks off around us. If you think when sort of parents or teachers or mentors make rulings, sometimes we huff and puff, we don't always agree with those things, but usually they're done to keep us safe. Usually there is a higher understanding of why that is being put in place, even if we don't support it or we don't like it. But usually there's a point or a purpose to it. So this is an example of how the Emperor works. So he serves his own kingdom, he serves himself, not because he's being selfish, but because he needs his world to work for him firstly, and then the experiences can support everybody else within the kingdom, essentially. So lead from the front. It's a time to take action. It's a time to stand up for what you believe in, even if it gets you unfavored, even if it means that you see yourself on the outside of a circle looking in. Like I say, sometimes people don't support or celebrate the energies of the Emperor, but you've got to do things your way, essentially. So I hope you can make sense of that card as well. An interesting set this week. Gonna leave them with you. Just want to say a couple of quick shouts to let you guys know. You may have seen for this week only, as it's the Easter weekend, I am running a little cheeky extra 20% off all of my voice recorded email readings. That will run until Sunday night, and then that offer will come off at 12 o'clock. Do remember as well, with all of my voice readings, they now take up to 6 working days. The reason why is I was getting inundated with orders, and I still am, which is lovely for the support, but there's no way I can do that many readings in one day. So I've had to extend lead times, and it's up to 6 working days. You might still get it before. Also be aware that this weekend I will be off grid. It's my husband's birthday. So Saturday and Sunday I will be off work because we're going to be going to London on the Sunday to see my husband's family. And then we're just going to be having some chill time on the Saturday. So just be aware of that. And also tonight, just to let you guys know, I was asked back to do a follow-up podcast from the Outer Limits radio station in Swindon. So that airs live this evening at 10 o'clock, I believe. So I will put a separate link up on my Facebook page and on my Instagram, so you can catch that if you haven't sort of caught it. But yeah, so that's really, really cool that I was able to sort of reconnect with the beautiful Carly and Peggy and Chloe from the Outer Limits team radio station. So do check that out. It's a nice sort of cheeky little podcast interview there. So have a beautiful week. I hope the messages make sense. Look after yourselves, and I will see you all very soon. Take care. Bye for now.